Okay, I think we should be live here. Let's just check something over here. Let's see. Yep, I think we're live. Let's see. Yep, looks like we're online here. Hello, and welcome to the 741 channel. Thank you for stopping by. I figured I'd set up another live stream here. I've got some things changed around a little bit. I've got my screen capture software working. At least I think it's working. And I've got a webcam now, so things are going to be a little better tonight, hopefully, than they have been in the past. But I figured I'd try it out anyway, at least for a trial run, and see what happens. So here we are. So I've got the laptop over here to the side of me up so I can see the chat. Oh, it looks like Hunter's in there already. Good evening. How are you? And welcome to the live stream tonight. So let's see. I'm going to unmute this and see if we can hear stuff. I know 6 meters was open. Okay, good. Good to hear everything's working. 6 meters was open earlier because the January VHF contest is going on right now. So I'm going to tune around a little bit here and see what I can hear. Look at some Morse code up here. That's usually, Morse code's usually not this high up in the band, but that's all right. Oh, haven't used your 1150 in a while, huh? Okay, well, you'll have to get it out and get the dust off of it here. Not much to do this time of year, so it's good time to listen to shortwave. But anyway, I'm going to scroll up here. I get some noise on 6 meters from something in the house. I think you can kind of see it on the waterfall there at regular intervals. Now you can hear it. I think that's my wireless router. But anyway, we got that Morse code there. There was some sideband activity up here a little while ago. Hamfest coming up soon, so you might actually get an HF. Yeah, there is a Hamfest coming up in February, the Marlboro Hamfest. Usually go to that one. I don't know if I'll make it this year, though. Things have been busy at work, so I'm not sure I'll be able to make it, but we'll see. If I don't make that one, I'm going to make the Mount Tom Hamfest in, I don't know where they have that, Chicopee, Mass, or somewhere in that area, the greater Springfield area. So either that one or Marlboro. Yeah, there's a lot of guys from my club that go up to the Marlboro one every year. They like to use that one as the icebreaker, so to speak, and stuff. I don't know if I feel like driving all the way up there, though. It's only about an hour drive for me, so it's not too bad. Yeah, the MMRA 2-meter repeater. I haven't used the repeater. I usually can find the place without too much trouble. I know Marlboro a little bit. I've been up there a few times for training and things. Oh, we got a station there now. Is it on 160? 159. Oh, and here's the cat. Thanks for stopping in our live stream, cat. Hopefully she doesn't step on the keyboard here. Yeah, the old middle school unit. I've been in the past. I haven't been, has it been 2 years or just last year? I don't remember. I think it was just last year. I think I went the last few years before that. So we'll see. Like I said, I don't know if I'll be busy or not, but if I can get up there, I will. I'll drag my buddy with me, my buddy Scott, and some of the other guys from my club will be there. So we've got some 6-meter activity here tonight. It sounds pretty good on the bands. We got the contest going on. If I didn't have my radio room torn apart here, I'd get my radio up and make some contacts on 6. But I've got everything torn up here. You guys can't see it, but everything is kind of in shambles except for this one desk that we're sitting at right now. KE1LI, is that the call sign of the repeater? Or is that what's on here? I wasn't even listening. I'm too busy talking to myself. Get the cat over here now too.
Okay, Tom. Yeah, I remember the call by the picture on his QRZ page of the it looks like pork chop
Okay, I figured.
on the grill there, but that's all I can remember the call sign.
How's the audio coming through? Can you hear the SDR okay? I was fooling around with the webcam and the screen capture software, and in order to get the webcam audio to match up with my voice, or the lips, or whatever, lip syncing issue, I had to add a little bit of a delay in there, and it was screwing up trying to simultaneously have the microphone on the webcam go with the audio from the computer, so I had to turn off the audio from the computer. Right now, you want to blow up your SDRplay. You need to get a better computer and figure out what your system bar keeps maxing out. Yeah, you know, I've had pretty good luck running on some pretty old hardware. What I've had to do though is up here, if you look at the spectrum range and the decimation, I have to keep it pretty low, and then it works okay. But if you're trying to you know, do 10 megahertz, it's not going to work too well, you know, on an older computer. Even this computer is fairly decent, and I still got to keep it pretty low when I'm running the screen capture software like this.
Kilo Echo 1 Lima India calling and listening.
I don't know if you guys can see the cat here. She's up on the desk and loving life now.
QRZ K1LI.
KE1LI, I think I've talked to him before.
Kilo Echo 1 Lima India. Kilo Echo 1 Lima India calling and listening.
Is he FM41? I thought he was Eastern Connecticut or maybe Rhode Island, but I'll look him up. If the cat can get off my stuff over here. You guys can't see this cat, but she's all over my computer. Here, let me look it up. Of course, I'm not logged in over here, so. Let's see. Okay, should have got this logged in beforehand. We'll try this KE1LI. Let's see, yeah, Pomfret. So he's not far from me. He's probably about 20 miles due east or so. Like I said, I've talked to him before. Let's see, running the new version of SDRuno. You know, I almost did download the new version tonight, but I didn't have time before I started the live stream here. I was going to do it, but I said, I'll just do it with the old version. So, so you're thinking that the new version is causing some issues? If that's the case, maybe I'll stay with the old version here for a bit. Don't, he says. Let's see. He went away, but now it sounds like there's somebody down there a little bit lower. Let's catch that guy. Oh, he just moved frequency. That's the same guy. Actually, it looks like somebody maybe went up there above him. It looks like there was somebody over there, too. It's nice to hear activity on 6. I wish we heard more outside of contest times. Here's a spike. Let's see what that is. Oh, that's... What is that? Some kind of digital signal, I guess. Interesting. If I had FL Digi set up on this, I'd plug that in and see if we could decode that, but I don't have it on this computer right now. Yeah, I don't know what that is. It sounds like some kind of digital mode, really. Interesting. I wonder if we'd hear anything on 2 meter sideband on this antenna. Would be a stretch, but maybe we'll try that after. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's something local in the shack. I don't think so. I've never heard any interference like that. That sounded like a real signal. I don't know what that would have been. That would have been some kind of digital mode someone was trying out or what. I'll sit here for a minute, see if anybody else pops up. I see the noise again over here, or maybe some other station's responding, because that's weaker. It's interesting.
Kilo Echo 1 Lima India, Kilo Echo 1 Lima India, calling and listening.
I'm not upset this too much, but you guys can see my cat laying right there. Well, it's not my cat, it's my wife's cat, but she tends to come down here and get in my stuff while I'm trying to work on the computer at night. Here, let's listen to that again.
November 1, November after Lima. November 1, November after Lima. November 1, November after Lima from Kilo Japan 2 Germany Rover. Class November 42.
Oh, we got a Rover in FM 42. He was coming in strong for 42. I used to have a grid square map right here behind the monitor, but I took it down. It got some water damage.
November 1, November
I got to
Lima.
print a new
November
one.
1, November after Lima. Pardon me. November 1, November after Lima. This is Kilo Japan 2 Germany Rover. Class
Oh,
November
that's
42.
somebody else.
QSL. Thanks for Fox November 31. Thanks. 73.
I'm not sure who he was talking to, but I didn't hear him. Looks like there's another station just below there. Maybe 45. Somebody came on. $40. Oh, 42. There's somebody down there in the noise. I have a 6 meter antenna. I could put it on here, but it's too much of a pain in the neck to swap them right now. But okay, I know this guy. He's not too far from me either. He's 10 or so miles due east of here. Surprised he's so weak. He must have a beam, and it's probably facing the other way. Yeah, I don't know. I use 2 meter FM in the shack here. I've got a guy in town that I've been talking to, FM Simplex, quite a bit. He's a retired guy, and he lives in an apartment, and that's all he can run because he's in the apartment. So I've been using that, and it works okay, but I haven't tried sideband, 2 meter sideband, so maybe we'll give it a try here in a minute and see what we can hear. Oh, hey, Keith's in here tonight. How you doing, Keith? Thanks for stopping in. We're just kind of tooling around a little bit here on the software-defined radio again. Just kind of passing some time here on a cold Saturday night. So I thought I heard a station there, but either he gave up or he went down in the weeds. So we could try 2 meter sideband and see if we hear anything. Let me mute that. I gotta put this down. Let's get that decimated down to 2. So you can see it keeps, even my CPU is kind of getting a little hot under the collar there, so to speak, but that's somewhat related to the screen capture program running. Yeah, this is some neat stuff, Keith. I know you're into computers and everything. And this is just a little box that you can get and hook up to an antenna, and you can tune all kinds of radio frequencies. So if you're into that sort of thing, you could you could look that up and add it to your collection of stuff. once you're done building all those retro machines, be something else for you to try, I suppose. But let me tune down here if I can get this. Whoops. Let's tune down. I'll leave it muted for now. Let's see. We got one signal there. Well, we got something up there. Let's see. What are we looking at now? Well, that's probably packet. What is that? 144.39. That's probably APRS. So we're going to stay down below 144.200. This is probably just noise from the router. Let's unmute this. Yeah, that's just some kind of noise. We might have a signal here. Sideband, upper sideband. Yep, there's a signal there. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's the guy we heard before, KE1LI. Where'd he go? So I'm surprised I'm hearing anything on this wire. This is not the right antenna for 2 meters. Yeah, you don't know if you need a new hobby. I know what you mean. I don't need a new hobby either. I'm actually toying with the idea of getting a new motorcycle in the spring, but we'll see. Not a new one, but something used, something different. But I don't know if I have the time to even devote to that. We'll see. I've been saying that for the last 3 years now. Let's see, where'd this guy go? He was there. He was definitely there. There he is. So yeah, there is a little activity there. He's talking to somebody. I can't quite make him out, but I think we've got everything kind of maxed out here anyway. So yeah, for this antenna, I'm surprised. I won't even try UHF, but I know there's activity going on up there too, probably. But I don't hear anything on UHF here on a good antenna, let alone the one that I've got. So, oh, we got another station popped up there. We can catch that guy. Maybe that was 205. Listen there. Oh, we got a rover there. So that's interesting.
Kilo Japan to Germany rover.
So we won't know exactly where he is, but his home base is Holliston, Mass. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, you know, actually what I've been trying to do here, Hunter, with this, one of these days, I'll catch it, is one of the local repeaters has been having some interference. Somebody's been messing around. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't think somebody's been messing around. Some of the other guys do. I think we've got an interference issue, and I've been meaning to put it on here and see if I can see what's going on, in the waterfall, but I haven't had a chance to try that yet. But actually, we could go up there and see if there's any repeater activity. Let's change that up. Oops. Turn that down a bit. No, we're getting some kind of weird noise. It's almost like a digital noise, like a digital signal, but it's not any kind of digital noise I've ever heard. And it's kind of sporadic, and it seems to come and go, but it's definitely an issue, because when it comes in, it's hard to hear over it. But whatever it is, only comes in when somebody else has keyed the repeater already. So it's not generating a PL tone of its own. So in other words, if somebody's already talking, you'll hear it key the repeater. Probably someone trying to do DMR fusion. You know, I've tried listening to samples of DMR fusion or P25 or something, And this noise doesn't sound anything like any of those, because that's kind of what I thought it was. Slow scan TV. Now that's a good thought. I hadn't tried that, or thinking about that, but you're right. It's sort of a slower noise than what you'd hear, if that makes any sense, for one of the other digital modes. Like, I don't think it's D-Star either, because I've looked up audio samples of all of those. It doesn't sound anything like that. I'll have to try and record it sometime so you guys can hear it. Maybe somebody will know what it is. What do we got here? We got a repeater going here.
Yeah, that's when I had first gotten into the ham radio back there in the hometown there from another.
Yeah, you're right.
Worked at Radio Shack.
There used to be a couple of guys, well, a group of guys actually around here that did a lot of slow scan TV, but they haven't been active in a number of years. But I wonder if that's what it could be. We'll have to look that up later.
If I remember correctly, was KCMWP.
I think you emailed me, Hunter. I think if I looked back through my emails, I'd see an email from you. I vaguely remember that a couple of weeks ago or something like that.
Unfortunately, he's a silent key now, though. But
this particular repeater that we're listening to now, I believe, is the Norwich, Connecticut repeater. This is, oh gosh, I'd have to say, I don't know, 25, 30 miles, maybe 40 miles south of me. And that's coming in pretty strong. And again, the antenna that I'm using is not remotely close to being a 2-meter antenna, and it's horizontal and not vertical, which is what a repeater would normally be vertical.
I was always too shy to jump on the.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw an email from you, Hunter. So I'll have to look back and see. I don't have my email up right now. I think you sent me one.
I was a little too shy to jump into any conversation. But now I'm just like, well, I need to, get
Let's
back.
see, we had a repeater jump up over here. What would that one be? Oh, that's the, what is that one? East Hampton, Connecticut.
Good evening. The time is 10:15 p.m.
That's a good, let's go back over here. That's a good repeater system, that one, 147135. There's a bunch of linked repeaters there, and they have good coverage throughout the state. And they're pretty active. There's a good group of guys that are on those repeaters, keeping them used quite a bit.
Okay, Eric, W1OCT here. This will take and set your weekend off really good.
So let's see. Let's leave this for a minute. Got anything else going on down here? No, that's it. I guess we just got that one repeater. Well, we got something here. What's this? We're gonna unmute it. Just noise. That was a repeater IDing. That's one IDing. Of course, we're muted right now. Oh, what do we got here? Let's see. Nothing down here. Oh, I shouldn't say that. We got something there. Oh, I went way too far. What the heck happened? 2, 3, 730. So that's the only one active right now. Maybe that's a net. I don't know. Well, probably not this late.
As most hams are. Most. Yeah, that's most. Don't forget, by the way, if you have time.
So you don't have luck with repeaters, huh? We've got quite a few here in Connecticut that work pretty good. There's actually one that I use quite often on my way home from work, and it covers a good part of Connecticut. I can usually get a good 40-mile range on it, between south and north, so to speak. But I would think you guys should have quite a few repeaters up there in your area, no? Well, maybe everything's gone digital for you guys up there. I know there's been a lot of stuff going over to DMR and D-Star and stuff around here, but we still have a number of analog ones that are active too. Oh, do you guys have a 10 p.m. net out there? Maybe that wasn't it. Sounds like it was. If I shut my trap and listen to this, we could probably figure out what it was. But
Yeah, you said 8 o'clock tomorrow night. There's also the 9 o'clock.
W1BIM, that's the 14697 repeater, isn't it, out of Paxton? I was actually listening to that one earlier, and it comes in real good here. Actually, I was listening, what's that net that they have on there every night? George's Old Timers Net or something like that. I was listening to that. They always do a trivia question, or well, not so much a trivia question, but some kind of technical question that you're supposed to answer, I guess. Yeah, okay, so you know that repeat. So you can't key that one up from where you are? Because it comes in good down here. We can key it up here in town. And of course, I'm in Connecticut. I'm not far from the Mass border, but I'm definitely in Connecticut. So let's see. I don't know what else we might have out here to listen to tonight. We got some VHF activity because of the contest. And I don't know, maybe we could check 6 again really quick, just see if anything came up. And if not, we'll go down to the HF bands. Let's put this back on. Oops, upper side band. Any recommendations for a good mobile radio? I assume you're looking for like a 2-meter radio or something like that? Or a dual bander, or what are you looking for? Oh, I'm on 51. There you go. Dual band with APRS. The only one that comes to mind is the Kenwood, with the built-in APRS that they're selling now. I don't know, maybe some of the other radios do have that, but isn't it just the Kenwood? What is that, a V71 or something like that? It's a little bit pricey, and it's been around a long time too. But they're a good radio. I don't know, do the Yaesus have the APRS in them? I don't really know. I've got one of each. I've got a Yaesu 2900 that I use here in the shack, and I've got a Kenwood TM281 that I use in my commute car that I drive back and forth to work every day in. And then I've got an old Chevy Tahoe beater, and I've got an ICOM, that's an older one, an IC 2100 in that. And they all work pretty good. I don't like one more than the other. They all seem suited well to their environments, so to speak. D710, FTM 100. FTM 100s are supposed to be good radios. I know a guy that's got one and he seems happy with it. I think he's got it in his car. I'm not sure. Maybe he's got it in his house. Yeah, that's the nice thing about some of the new Yaesus, because they're putting in the fusion stuff. Of course, the ICOMs have the D-Star too, but the Yaesus always seem to be a little bit cheaper. But I like ICOMs too. I like them all. I'm not a brand loyalist by any means. I'll get any radio that works, I suppose. There's some I like better than others, but they all seem to do okay. I really don't like those Chinese radios. I've got a couple of those Baofeng HTs around here. I mean, you have to have them. They're just too cheap not to. And I use them for wheel chocks and stuff like that. Now, I mean, you can't beat them. They're convenient. You just throw them in the charger and they work. And the receiver on them, when you can get them to receive right, is nice. It's loud, but I don't like transmitting on those things. They're not good radios. So the Yaesu has the Fusion and the APRS and dual band. Yeah, that's the nice thing. They've got a lot of stuff. They've got a lot of bang for the buck in their excuse me, VHF radios. Excuse me. Well, I think 6 meters has gone kind of quiet on us here, so maybe we ought to go somewhere else. I suppose we could check out 40, since that's what my antenna is cut for. We'll probably hear something down there, I would think. Turn the volume up a bit.
It's good enough even with the antennas not looking at one.
Well, the bands haven't been that good lately, but I seem to be able to hear local stuff.
Whiskey Alpha Zero, Whiskey Oscar Foxtrot.
Whiskey Alpha Zero, Whiskey Oscar Fox. I think I have it right. Good evening, 59.
You do, Bill. I'm Kay, Kilo Alpha Yankee in Kansas, and I just got your QSL charge a couple of months ago for my
Everything
first
sounds
contact
good
here
here.
on 40 meters. It's a beautiful signal tonight. I wanted to say hello, but I won't keep you. 73 and F88 from Kansas, Bill. ZS6 BCY from WA0 WOS.
Okay, Kay. I got your call right. Whiskey Alpha Zero, Whiskey
Yeah,
Oscar Fox.
40 meters sounds good.
Yeah, that's it,
Okay, Kay. Good to see you. Please, you got the card.
Not a lot of noise.
Very efficient. And you're 5'9" tonight. Good evening. Okay?
And good strong signals.
Nice to see you again. Best wishes. ZS6 Charlie Yankee.
Who's this guy?
I hear you, Leo. Whiskey 7 WOO 59.
Did he say ZF6 Charlie Yankee? No.
You're up there yourself, 5'9" even.
I didn't catch his call.
Have a good night, Leo. Always a pleasure. Zulu Sierra 6 Charlie Yankee.
Zulu Sierra 6 Charlie Yankee.
Good morning.
Oh, well, there you go. He's in South Africa. That's not bad. I'd say the bands are doing okay. Can't complain about that. Actually, I just looked him up on QRZ over here. And he's got a picture. What is this picture of? Oh, what is that? A Unimog or something he's got on his QRZ page. Pretty cool. All right. You can get out of here now, Cat. I don't know if you guys can see the cat or not. She's like, there she goes. Yep. Goodbye.
Yep, good to see you again.
See you later.
It's been a couple of days. If it's not in front of you, this is Bill. BILL, 59 plus from the West Coast, okay?
Yeah, thanks for the report, Bill. I'm running a vertical here in the backyard, so that's pretty good. Have a good night, 73.
Yep, don't underestimate the vertical, Bob. I think some of us do. ZS6 Charlie.
I wouldn't mind experimenting with a vertical over here. I've been thinking about it. Maybe in the spring, we'll see.
Good evening, pleased to meet you. N5QQ, you're 5'9". Hello, Ron. Thanks for the 5'7" in Texas.
Yeah, well, the cat was laying right here in front of the monitor for a long time, but I don't know, well, she decided she wanted to go somewhere else, I guess, which is fine with me. She always gets up here and steps all over everything. I try and kick her out, but she comes back. So actually, I think what I'm going to do is let you guys listen to that for about 3 minutes. I'm going to run over, I got to check my wood stove, which is about 30 feet that way. So let me go take care of that. You guys listen to this for a minute. I'll be right back.
And I'm in Louisiana. Hello, Marshall, in Louisiana. This is Bill, short for William in South Africa. 59 plus, over. Okay, thank you. Good conditions tonight. You got a beautiful signal. 73, thank you for the QSO. Yep, the dogs of propagation are doing a little overtime this weekend. Good one. 7-3, ZS6 CCY. Zulu, Sierra 6, Charlie, Charlie Yankee. Delta 8, Victor, uniform Yankee. Okay, many voices there. Let's try again. Kilo Golf 4, Victor, uniform Yankee. Oh, okay, Gil, I got you. I recognize the voice in amongst all the callers. Big Q tonight. Gil, N2GG59.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you're 59 year also, Bill. And
Okay, got the stove all filled up.
operating out of the RV.
Let's see.
My,
Should break out the 1150 and see what you can get. Well, you could give it a try. It looks like the bands are open, so you might hear something. Well, maybe not open, but at least doing what they're supposed to be doing. So let's see what else we can hear. Oops. Keep scrolling off the map here. Norway Alpha 3 Delta. Let's see where he is. Let's see where he is. New Jersey. Okay. Not too far from here, but still, if he's portable, that's interesting. He's a little off frequency. I don't know what he's using, but maybe I am. They're having a hard time hearing each other there. Spanish stations. Let's try. Oh, I got that locked again. 6. See if we got any pirates. Whoops. I don't hear any. Oh, maybe we got one there. No, some Spanish station. What do we got here? Oh, that's just noise. Need a real SDR. Well, these SDRplay units, they're only about $100, maybe a little more. What are they? 109 or 119. I don't know what they're selling for right now, but they put them on special at HRO at times, and they go down a little bit lower, especially when they're getting ready to release a new model. So keep your eye out, save your shekels, and you could buy one of these. They're great. I mean, they're not the best one that you can buy, but for the money, I think you're getting 90% of the performance. You can't beat it. Yeah, keep an eye out at the Hamfish. You never know what you'll find there. Now, you say a real HF radio, but that 1150 has got a pretty good receiver in it, so I wouldn't sneeze at that. Now, if you're looking for something with a transmitter, obviously, that's a different story. But if you're just looking for a better receiver, these work real well. And they're only, like I said, somewhere in the $100 range. And then, of course, there's the Texan type Chinese portable shortwave radios and stuff. Maybe you can pick one of those up used. for a good price. You know what I see at the Hamfest sometime is what is it? The Radio Shack DX440. Those were out back in the 90s, but those are good little radios too. If you could find one of those, you'd have some fun with it. That's what my dad always used to listen to back in the day. He had one of those in the kitchen, and he listened to it all the time. Yeah, DX440. It's well, it's really, I think it's made by Sangean, and they had a twin. I can't remember the model number of that. 803 maybe, or 808, something like that. But the Radio Shack sold their version that was called the DX440. It's a little portable radio, and you know, it covers all the bands. It's got FM in it too. It's a great little radio. And like I said, you can find them at the Hamfests usually. Sometimes you can get them for like 20, 30 bucks, something like that. I don't know. Keep your eyes peeled. And they have a BFO, so you can listen to sideband and things like that. And it's all digital tuning, PLL type thing, and they're kind of neat. So I guess there's a contest down here too. I don't know what it would be. Oh, okay, yeah, there would be a write-up on eHam, I would imagine. Well, like I said, they're old radios now, but if you can find one that they, you know, somebody says it works, and you can kind of prove it, then they're good radios. There's two things with those that you got to be careful of. One of them you can't really do much about unless you open it up and fool with the circuitry, but when you tune the radio fast, it kind of clunks as you go along, and it's kind of, some people find it annoying. It doesn't bother me that much, but it kind of does, you know, make a loud noise. So if you're trying to listen to it in a quiet environment, you got to be mindful of that. And then the other problem with them is the first RF amplifier. It's got, I think it's just a MOSFET or something like that. That's a little bit prone to static. And they can get zapped, and then the radio gets a little bit deaf after that. So you got to be careful of that, you know, when buying used radios. But aside from that, they're good radios. So if you can get one that you know is a good working, excuse me, example, then you'd be all set. But like I said, the Texan, if you haven't seen the Texan radios, the PL660 and the PL880, those are good little radios too, and they're somewhere around the $100 range, give or take, whether you buy it new or whether you can find a used one somewhere. And there's a lot of bang for the buck in those too. But for me, and of course this is up to you, but for me, if I were going to spend $100, $120 on a shortwave radio, I'd buy one of these. Do I have any HTs? Yeah, I have a couple of those junk Baofeng HTs, and I have an old Alinco DJ1G or DG1J, something like that. I don't use them much. I'm not an HT type of guy, but every now and then I'll use it for something, you know. But I like that old Alinco. It works real well. How about you? Now, you were telling me the last time we were on here that you had just gotten a new HT for Christmas or something along those lines. Let's see, Mike Moorhead, welcome. Thanks for stopping in tonight. We're just kind of tuning around and just kind of talking radio here tonight. Thanks for stopping in. Whereabouts are you from, Mike? I'm here in Connecticut. Yeah, the FT70. I think you were telling me about that last time I was on. That sounds like a nice radio. I wouldn't mind getting a new HT, but I don't know that I'd use it that much. And you got the VX6R. I've heard those are nice radios too. A new Boston leather fire radio strap. Oh, that sounds cool. Let's see if we can find something else here. Yeah, there's some sort of contest going on here tonight. W6TK. Well, that's pretty good for 40 meters at night. Let's see, that guy is, yep, he's in California. So we're hearing the other side of the country tonight. Took your VX6 to Florida and made a bunch of contacts down there and listened to some HF as well. Does the VX6 have a general coverage receiver? It must if you're listening to HF. But that's pretty cool. It's been a long time since I've been to Florida. And the only times I've been to Florida is for work. I never really went there for fun. So maybe someday we'll go down there for fun. Yeah, because I was on a business trip, I didn't bring any radios with me when I went down there. I used to travel a bit for work, and I brought my HT once to North Dakota with me, but I didn't make any contacts. I just listened. I was too busy. I didn't have a chance. But it's always fun when you travel to bring a radio and listen in and see what the locals are talking about and how things work. Even just a couple states away. I used to spend a lot of time in Vermont when I was younger, and I always had a radio with me. And there's, of course, not a lot going on up there in Vermont, but it was interesting to listen into the activity that I did here. You got harassed by Disney security because you had your VX6 with a speaker mic and the radio strap. It was on Halloween. Forgot what shirt I had on, but I had a local. Okay. Yeah, I imagine that they get a little funny with stuff like that. They will probably worry that you're impersonating an officer or security officer or something like that, and you're up to no good. So I guess they gotta stay on their game. I don't know. But you got to be careful of that because I have a friend, he's a good friend of mine, and he's got a Dodge Charger. Was it a 2010, something like that? And it's gray, it's dark gray. It looks like a police car. And he's gone so far as to put a push bar on it and some other accessories. So now it really looks like a police car. And I keep telling him he's going to get pulled over one of these days for impersonating an officer, but so far he's been lucky. So we'll see. But you got to be careful with that because they're always worried that somebody's going to, pull a stunt, and do something they shouldn't in the guise of being an officer. Oh, so it was sort of a costume. I see. Okay, I wonder why the speaker mic. Well, I guess maybe the speaker mic just made you look too authentic. Well, here's our friend again. You can get back to your spot, I guess. There you go. Okay. Oh, boy, I tell you. Yeah, the local fire guys, they do a good job. Of course, around here, I don't know about where you are, but around here, in our part of the state, most of them are volunteer too. So they don't get paid. They do this just because they enjoy it. Pro 94, any good idea how to boot the sound? What do you mean? Is it not working? Or do you mean boost the sound? Is the Pro 94 a handheld, or is that a desktop type scanner? Oh, you get the old Fire, or you get their old scanner antenna. That's cool. That's cool. Well, you know, if they just had it hanging around like that, I'm sure they were glad to give it to somebody who appreciated it too. So that's good. Okay, so the Pro 94 is a handheld. You could try, I don't know if it's got an external, boy, there's cat hair just flying around here now that I'm petting this cat. I don't know if it's got an external speaker jack on it, but you could try and throw an external speaker on it and see what happens. You know what I do? Of course, if it's a portable, this isn't, you're not going to be able to use it portable, but if you're just using it, you know, on your desk or something, out in my garage, what I do is I have a pair of old computer speakers, you know, the amplified computer speakers, just like I have right here. Hopefully you can see that. And I got those set up in the garage, and I plug stuff into those all the time. And like my cell phone, I can listen to music or anything like that with a, you know, a regular headphone jack. You can just plug it in and you're good to go. Okay, so Andrew knows how to boost the audio. So what do you think? Yeah, I've never used the Pro 94. Obviously, I can't think of what it looks like off the top of my head, but I like those old Radio Shack scanners. I've got a couple of old desktop ones that I use here. I usually just monitor 2 meters on them with, you know, in the garage, really, but they work good. I'm glad you like the live streams, Hunter. I'm still not sure I do. Looks like this got a little misadjusted here. I'm not sure I do still, but I got nothing else to do tonight, so what the heck, right? Well, I got plenty other to do. I just don't feel like doing it. I guess I should rephrase that. So have you had the radio a long time then, Mike? It sounds like you have. I've got Pro, what is it, Pro 2021, and I've had that 30 years now, and it works great. You ever tried VHF Simplex? Yep, I use VHF Simplex all the time. There's a guy that lives just a couple of miles away from me. He's retired, and he lives in an apartment complex. And the only thing he can manage is a 2-meter antenna in his apartment, you know, in the building. And we use Simplex all the time. We're close enough so that we can hear each other. That way we're not tying up any repeaters. So I do use it quite a bit. Let's see, Mike says you have some old ham radio. What do you got for old ham radios, Mike? Let's see. We'll get cheap speakers, computer speakers is what you were going to say. Yeah, that's what we were saying. Use the old amplified. Hold on, Cat. Can you just go back to sleep now instead of driving me crazy here? Yeah, the old cheap computer speakers. Find those anywhere at a yard sale or anything, and see what you can do with them. They work great for that sort of thing. Try 3.5 megahertz. Okay, yeah, we haven't tuned around here. I've been flapping my gums too much. Let's see what we got down. We'll get some Morse code there. That sounds good. I didn't even narrow it up. Sounds good.
If you fly them up and now the ones we cooked when I was out there,
Got some southern guys there. We're down in the extra portion of the band, I guess.
Yeah, but we had them like a sweet lemon sauce, silken.
Let's see. Let's go up here a bit.
Automatic than yours. You've got to spend a little bit more time tuning the amplifier.
So let's see what these guys are saying. Gonna bring that down a bit.
Performance Ferrari, I guess, you know. You don't put an automatic transmission in those kind of cars. They got to have the manual transmission. But like a manual transmission, you get tired of shifting too, don't you?
I never get tired of shifting. I can't drive an automatic. I like my 5 speeds, but those are going the way of the dodo.
Roger.
It's a shame too.
4 of them, right? Roger. Now for the 800 watts, the 811 Alpha F3 for 600 watts. Roger, and I think that one will take that.
Yeah, this band sounds good too. Nice and quiet, not too much static.
I think, yeah,
Signals are nice and strong.
I'm not that familiar. I've had some people
So we got a good night here. Good propagation.
They're not all what they claim to be.
Don't knock that off the computer again.
Roger.
Maybe it's time for you to go away.
What amplifier did you get?
Okay, now you're getting
However you pronounce it, KPA 500.
hair all over everything.
Well, that's good to hear. Did you get a tuner with that, Steve? Yeah, I bought their matching tuner that goes with it. The KPA.
Why are you biting me now? Cat's biting me now.
Roger. I'll check that out. So before I bought this, and I was, shopping around, I did look into that one also.
All right.
I felt like I wanted to go with the tube so that you get that experience.
So yeah, what I keep meaning to do here, and I haven't done it because I've been working on too many other things, is I've got 2 old Radio Shack Pro 2021s, and I want to program a bunch of aircraft frequencies into one of them, and just scan the air bands on it and see what I can hear with it. We had some luck the other night when I was tuning around on this. We were hearing quite a bit of activity, so I was thinking about setting that up and listening into it. So I just got to get it all programmed up and get an antenna on it. Let's see, Mike says any of my radios are from Radio Shack. Oh, okay. Well, Radio Shack actually used to make some decent stuff back in the day. It looks like the cat knocked this off the perch again here. Sorry about that, guys. Radio Shack used to make a lot of decent stuff. They made some lemons too, but back in the day they made some decent stuff. In fact, I've got some Radio Shack stuff here that I still use. I was telling Hunter we've got the DX440 portable shortwave. Those were good back in the 90s. And I've had some Radio Shack 2-meter radios and stuff like that. And they've worked okay. It's a shame they're gone now, but it is what it is.
Look at my cards right quick. Refresh my memory. Yeah, did you send emails to get them? I believe somebody may have asked them to come up. Let me take a look, Steve.
Let's see.
Romeo 8 Oscar, got it. What else you need?
Should do another video on the old HF radio. Okay, so you enjoyed that? Yeah, that's a Yaesu FRG 7700. That's my old shortwave receiver. I got that at a Hamfest. Oh gosh, a long time ago. And I've had it a long time. I break it out sometimes and tune around on it. In fact, I loaned it out for a while so it would get used, but I've got it back now. So that is a good old radio. Well, maybe next week or something we'll turn that one on and see what we can find on that one. I've got a few other radios around here that we could play around with. I've got the FRG 7700. I've got that old Night kit, although that's not that great of a radio. I've got my ICOM 746. That's got a great receiver in it. Here's the flyer for the Hamfest in February. Oh, will you send web addresses? Oh, okay. Well, I'll look it up. I know about it. My my radio club friends will make sure to remind me as well. But like I said, I don't know if I'm going to make it up to that one or not. I've been busy at work, so, and I got other stuff going on, you know, with my son and everything. So if we have an event that day, I won't be able to make it. But we shall see.
And then, of course, it's like you, I need Hawaii and Alaska.
Let's see. Oh, the Radio Geek has got a new video out. If you guys don't know the Radio Geek, you should check his channel out. He's got some good radio videos and stuff like that. So make sure you check his channel out if you get a chance.
But all things considered, it's kind of fun, and
I'm out of water now.
Less than 2 months. Yeah, but his station's so weak, I doubt if he can make that contact.
Let's see. What else can we hear? Put my. Okay, so this is a QSO party. Oh, North American QSO party. Okay, so that's what that is. Maybe one of these nights we'll do a live stream where I'm actually transmitting. That would mean I'd have to give my call sign here on YouTube, but we'll see. Okay, so we got Quebec coming in nice and strong tonight. Well, we usually hear them on 80 meters around here anyway. Actually, this looks interesting. Let's go up to, whoops.
You know, Tim Mason blows the blower.
Where'd he go?
Like that. Like, if you're...
It looked like there was a real strong AM signal there, but it must have stopped. There it is. Is that it? I'm going to have to widen out for that. Well, we'll have to go to AM too. Well, I guess he stopped. Nope, there's somebody there. He's just weak. Yeah. Excuse me. So there's a weak station there that we're hearing, barely. But there's a strong one there too, and he's wide. Let's wait for him to come back.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah, my first wife said that.
Oh, that's
Yep.
that's
I
Timtron.
remember that.
Is that Timtron?
That was May
Yeah.
of 77.
That's Timtron. WA1HLR. And where the hell is he? Skowhegan, Maine, something like that. I think. Maine, anyway. But he's an interesting character. If any of you guys, when you don't think you need an HT is the time you will need it. Yeah, you know, you're right. You're right. I do have, you know, a couple of emergency ones here, but I don't have a good one. And I should get a good one. Oh, the Alinco isn't bad. It's just old. But it's in good shape. It doesn't do any of the digital stuff. It's analog only. It does receive on 440 though. It's kind of nice. It doesn't have a 440 transmitter, but I can hear stuff on 440 with it when I'm in an area where I can hear UHF. I can't hear any UHF here. I'm surrounded by hills, and they block all the UHF signals. But anyway, this guy here, WA1HLR, he's famous around these parts. He's quite the character. He's been on the air forever, knows everything that you would ever want to know about AM, and just a real salt of the earth guy. Let's see, where in this? Oh, FRS radios. Oh, your school uses FRS radios. Well, that's funny. The school system that's in the next town over, they used to, I don't know if they still do, but they used to use CB radio for dispatching the maintenance guys between the schools. Believe it or not, I think they were using, I don't know if it was channel 5 or channel 15 or something like that, CB radio. Your computer's screwed up. Oh, okay, gotcha. That happens. I'm surprised this one's still working. This one can get kind of flaky sometimes. 436 HP. Oh, wow. Yeah, they shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, some of these education systems, what can you do? They're not, you know, they don't know what they're doing sometimes. But that's changing, though, these days. You know, they're putting a lot more security in that stuff these days and thinking things through better, especially around here.
Yeah, pretty good. I've been doing a lot of work here in the
Yankee Romeo. CQ test, Whiskey 3 Yankee Romeo.
What's this guy saying?
Kilo India 9 Sierra. Name here is Ted and Tango Echo Delta in Maryland.
Not where you're seeing. Well, maybe not in your area, but here in Connecticut, they're really strict with school security and things like that. In my town, anyway, the schools are, yeah, they're pretty secure these days.
Victor Alpha 3, Delta, Florida.
Victor Alpha 3, Delta, Florida. Please copy.
Yeah, I'm not sure what my town is using for radios. I know that years ago the school buses used to have analog VHF high band radios that they used, but if they're using radios, they're digital now. And the schools, I don't know what they're using. There's antennas on the schools, but I'd have to look it up. I don't know if they even publish that stuff anymore for security reasons. You know, they might not even be publishing it. Well, you know what is fun to listen to is around here the town snowplow drivers. They all use analog still, and they're fun to listen to. You know, they get going during a snowstorm, and you know, then if you listen to them too, you know when your road's gonna get plowed. They're kind of always telling each other where they're going and stuff. So I like listening to that sometimes. Let's see, 436 HP scanner. What would I do with that? Oh, radio reference. Well, radio reference is good, but it doesn't have everything on it. And I don't know if that's just because people haven't put it up there or some stuff just isn't published.
not trying to move. Chucky, you 5'9" the contest, okay?
Yeah, what's let's see, what's that other site? Broadcastify. People used to set up live streams from their scanners. There was a guy somewhere around here that had a live stream set up, and I could listen to the scanner while I was at work. I could sneak that through the firewalls and stuff at work, but he took his stream offline, so I can't hear it anymore.
I'm surprised Tony didn't come in to my defense, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing to do, is to do
They wanted you to move and
do your own searching. That takes time, though. That's the problem for me, is I don't have the time to sit there and figure it out. But one of these SDRs, it's great. That's a great thing to use this for, because you could just sit there and watch it and see what happens. And you can record with these. And what you can do is you can record the whole spectrum at any given time and then play it back and look for the signal spikes later, so you don't even have to be home. The file sizes get kind of big, but you can do it.
And Bobby missed it too. Of course, Bobby went to go get some refreshments.
You found your bus system by searching. Yeah, years ago when I had more time, I used to hear a lot of stuff. Actually, I used to work second shift, and when I was home during the day, I'd hear stuff. You know, I'd scan around and listen for signals. A lot of business stuff. I used to like to listen to that. Cable company, a local newspaper has a quite active dispatch frequency. Things like that. Oil companies. So there's quite a bit you can find. A lot of stuff's going digital, but not everything. Not yet.
How they treat you?
When you go to the dentist, you listen to the Office Max next door. Oh, the store. Okay, Office Max store. Is that what you mean? The Office Max store? Oh, they must have radios, right? You know, we have radios where I work too. The maintenance guys carry them around. We got a pretty big building, and I listened in on them once, but they don't say anything interesting. You know.
Why you gotta be like that?
467 900. Funny stuff. Yeah, I imagine any of those stores, places like that, would be fun to listen to. Back in the 90s, when I first got into radio, when you used to go to McDonald's, they had the VHF headsets and everything, and it was all analog. And you could trip the system, and you could order your McDonald's hamburgers from an HT that had been opened up. Stuff. Ask me how I know. So we used to get away with a lot more back then. But of course, you know, it was our friends working at McDonald's and stuff too, so we were just goofing on them. But you could have gotten in big trouble for that back in the day. But of course, that stuff's all digital, and it's way up there in the gigahertz ranges and stuff now. So you can't do like what you used to do. Back in the day, we used to be able to listen to cordless phones too. Boy, what a security hole that was. Just analog security, or analog telephone calls in the 49 megahertz range. Just plug it into any scanner and listen. And you put up an outside antenna, and you could listen to your whole neighborhood making phone calls. It was really cool.
No lighthouses, no outhouses. Welcome to the no contact.
Oh, is this up too loud? .900 megahertz baby monitor. Yeah, the baby monitors all used to be 49 megahertz or 46 megahertz, and the phones were 49 or 46. I don't remember which, but you used to be able to listen to those. And like I said, you could put a decent external antenna up, and you could hear you know, a pretty good radius of stuff. Yeah, the McDonald's frequencies, I think they were 155 megahertz or something like that. I don't remember. But yep, 49860. That was one of the frequencies. I had a 6-meter radio here for a while. It was an ICOM. What was the model number? 51 something 2. I don't remember the model number, but it was an ICOM 6-meter all mode, and I had bought it on eBay. And whoever owned it before me had put a switch in it on the side, so it would send it down. It could transmit on those frequencies, the 49 megahertz frequencies. I can't imagine why what that guy might have been doing with that radio at one time, but whatever. I don't have that radio anymore. I ended up selling it. So I'm gonna head back up to 6 meters again, just to hear if anything's going on. Here's that crazy signal again. I don't know what that is. That's got to be some kind of digital signal, and it's close. Now, I suppose that could be an image, though. That might not really be on that frequency. These SDRs are notorious for receiving images. So that could be a pager on a nearby tower or something along those lines. Well, I don't know, pager, but some kind of digital type, you know, commercial signal that we're just hearing because the SDR is passing it. Yeah, it could be DMR image. Is it DMR? I thought it might have been DMR. Now, it may not be an image. Keep in mind, there is a contest going on, and somebody could be trying that out here. I don't know. But it seems like it would be an image. It doesn't seem like it would really be there. Now, I don't know what that was. I'm trying to think. There's well, there's not really any DMR repeaters close to me that I know of. A few miles away, but could be. Let's see if we gotta back that down.
Here, like some of the digital modes.
Oh, there's the Paxton repeater right there. What is that one? W1BIM? Something like that?
And yeah, that's nice. I've used it. Talked to Jonathan on digital. It's amazing how that sounds and the amount of signal that you get. So how would you compare, like, you know, I know it's apples and oranges, but, you know, I don't know, in terms of how it sounds, or, I mean, how would you describe the difference? I know I could call it up on the repeater, but there's nothing like on the internet, there's nothing like talking to someone that's done it. I think P25 and,
So these guys are talking digital for the moment, it sounds like.
It's a whole other animal.
Yeah, we'll listen here for a minute. Maybe you can get your HT going and see if you can hear these guys directly.
Kind of like a robot a little bit, but you know, it's all going through the internet too. Kind of like, you know, same thing as Echo Link. I guess you could.
Boy, if you could key this up, you could hear yourself talk. But you said you weren't able to get into it. What are you using for an antenna, Hunter?
Separate modes. In the DMR is a commercial, but I mean, I know you mean the same in terms of the fact that the repeater sites are linked with the internet. I highly doubt they're using a landline anymore, as opposed to most of the other repeaters that are linked, I guess, with RF in most cases to not have to lease the line. You know, I like the DMR in the sense that you can be on different, I guess, different TGs, I guess they call it. You can talk to people like local, or you can talk, you know, national, and all of that seems really interesting. The thing I don't like is that the more I read up on how to program them, it sounds like very, very hard to program.
Diamond antenna.
Designed for like,
how am I not getting them? I should be getting them fine. Yeah, I would think you'd be able to hear them. I don't know exactly where you are. I know you're up in that area. I don't know how far you are from them. But 146640. I have a local repeater in Hartford on that frequency, so I imagine I wouldn't hear anything else other than that. But in fact, I don't listen to that one very much. It used to be that frequency, there were some Spanish-speaking hams that would use that one, and I don't speak Spanish, so I took that one out of my my scan because they were on it all the time, and I couldn't understand what they were saying. You can try echo linking into W1MHL. I don't have echo link set up myself right now. I reloaded this computer a while back, and I wiped it out, and then I got a brand new phone around Christmas, and I didn't put echo link back in it. Go to 14664. My grid square is FN31. 64. Turn that down. Okay, I'm on 6.4. But now keep in mind, I'm not really using a 2-meter antenna here. I'm using a 40-meter dipole. But give it a shot if you want. Well, I can see something there. I don't know if you can see that. You can see that there was a signal there. I couldn't hear it though. If you narrow it up. Oh, that was the ID that was there? Okay. Well, I almost heard it. And I don't think that was the one in Hartford. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have that one even programmed in. I got a 2-meter radio right over here. Let's see. No, don't have that one. Sorry for all the beeping. I don't have that one programmed in. The Hartford one, anyway. Let's see. There's something here. Said you just called out. Well, yeah, I wasn't looking, but there's, you can see down there in the waterfall. We could just faintly see that signal. Let me zoom in a bit on that. So now we're looking directly at that. It might have done it while I was zooming in there. Let's try. Well, why? I know we've got a little bit of a delay here between what you can hear and what I'm actually doing, but you could try it one more time. If I was using my 2-meter antenna on here, I'd probably hear it, but I'm using that wire. Yeah, it's too bad you can't get into that Paxton repeater. That's the one. That's the one we'd be able to talk on if you could get into it. I can't think of any others. Yeah, that's. I'm not going to hear anything on that one. Let's go back over here.
To get into other repeaters at that point, amateurs will almost have like their own little mini cell phone network.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like the idea of the RF binder. That's kind of neat. And of course the D-Star. I like to check that out a little bit further. The open spot that I already have, that's really kind of nice because you know, you can use a DMR handheld.
I'm in Talon County.
Connect Systems DMR handheld or TYT handheld.
Heard something over there. Cat's gonna go check it out.
And be able to go in through that box and actually talk to D-Star, reflect this, and you're doing this on a DMR handheld. Imagine that. It's making
Yeah, we can hear this repeater pretty well for the antenna that I'm on.
you can use a D-Star icon handheld, and you can use that to communicate with DMR through the open spot. It's all through that little box. It's amazing how it works, how it does it.
What I'm talking about, but you know, like in a repeater farm, and I guess the DMR is kind of what I'm talking about, at least with, but only with one mode, and then you're able to link into other repeaters. I mean, it seems like it's the link king. You know, like you have the MMRA, and they're linking their separate repeaters, but I mean, this is like larger, where you're linking into like repeaters everywhere. They say you could key up 20, 40, 40, 80 repeaters at a time, whatever.
Just for the heck of it, see if you can get 146790. That's in Vernon, Connecticut. That's probably one of the better repeaters in this area. Can't think of the PL tone, 82.5, I think. But you could try that one and see if you can hit it. That one works well. In fact, I'll turn on the other radio here. Onto that. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, 14679. PL is 82.5. Give that one a try if you want. I've got my 2-meter radio on over here in the background. I can hear you. So what do we got there? 730. That's Norwich.
Connected to the internet, local, you know, like a very local repeater, low wattage. But on the other end, you don't know if some people are actually talking over their home computer and going in that way, you know, over the internet, and then some of them you're going to be coming.
Yeah, it might be a stretch. Trying to think. The only one that I can think of that we could both hit would be this one.
I think some people fear that, like, it means that RF is going to go away, and
I don't know if you'd be able to hit any of the Springfield repeaters. You can't hit Mount Tom, can you? 146940. That's in, well, it's on Holyoke. I can't think of the PL on that. 127? Something like that? I'm probably not going to be in here too much longer. I think I'm going to shut down here soon. But if you want to give that one a try, I'll listen for you there. And then maybe we'll wrap it up here. I don't have that one. Where is that? There it is.
Roger that. I'm glad I got this quad van back on my car. I'm going to be
Oh, okay.
Probably next month or the month after. I don't know.
I don't even know. What am I hearing there? That's not the repeater. There it is. Oops.
DW, I'll be monitoring.
Sounds like they've signed off there. But yeah, like I said, probably gonna wrap it up here shortly. It's getting a little bit late. We've been on here for quite a while now, so let's see, what do we got there? 146625. I don't know where that repeater is. It's a new one for me.
I'm going to get going. It's been a pretty long day, especially what I've been through this week, and I want to take all your night anyway. I want to thank you for your support. You know, when my mom had died. Catch up with you and Chris next week. And,
yeah, 146625. I don't know what that was. I heard it. ID just a minute ago. Is that something up your way? Yeah, well, I mean, do you have an external antenna, or are you just using what's on your HTs? Let's see. Just for the heck of it. Oh, just what's on your HTs. Well, you're probably not going to hit anything out this way then. You gotta get yourself a mag mount on a cookie sheet or something like that. That'll even get you better off than what you're doing now. Probably get you into the Paxton machine. this AM or sideband? AM. So there's even a little bit of CB activity out there tonight. That's interesting. Yep, CB's not dead. Yeah, you'd probably do pretty good with a mobile rig and an external antenna. Even just an external antenna, you know, would do wonders probably for you if you could rig something up. Just like I said, just a mobile antenna on a metal cookie tin or something, and see what happens, you know. But yeah, well, everybody says CB is dead. Well, not everybody, but you know, that's the general consensus. But there it is. There's still guys out there. I don't use it much anymore, but every now and then I like to tune down there and see what I can hear. But anyway, I think I'm going to bail out of here. So thanks for tuning in tonight, and maybe we'll look for you again here some other night. Now that I've got this computer working a little bit better and get the camera set up here, everything seems to be doing a little bit better than before. So maybe we'll do this again and have a little bit more focus on it. Or like you suggested, maybe we'll try one of the other radios again and see what happens. So, all right, man, we'll catch you later. Thanks again for stopping in. Have a good evening. Oh, I'm going to stop it over here, right?